Crushers and the Bears doing battle. The Crushers with just the one win to their credit in 97. The Bears on 11 points. Let's have a look at the South Queensland side.
Yeah, fullback Paul Hubbard, Jason Hudson and Clinton Shevkovsky on the wings. Toshak and Ego in the centres. Don Saunders, Dashing Don, is in there for the injured Shane Cairns. Antonik's the halfback. The lock forward is Craig Wilson, the former Norse player, up against his old club today. Bickerstaff and Prothero, the second rows. Clinton O'Brien, Steele Reckless in the front row with Craig Teaven, their hooker. Case by Steve Bleakley.
And this North Sydney side, skippered by Jason Taylor, of course, and he's now played 81 consecutive first-grade matches for the Bears. Let's look at their side.
Yeah, fullback is Matt Sears. On the wings, we've got Brett Dallas, Nigel Roy, Benny Ike and Michael Buettner in the centres. Floromo's the 5'8", Jason Taylor the halfback. Lock forward is Billy Moore, Fairley and Danny Williams in the second row. Steve Trindle, Mark Soden and Josh Stewart are the front rowers, and coached by Peter Louis.
And in charge of this one is Eddie Ward, Queensland-based referee. Crushers for the first half, running from left to right. Clinton Shevkovsky, the man who gets us underway. And this Crushers side, we've mentioned only the one win for the season, but in their last 4 games, they have led into the second half of matches, so perhaps not far off a win. This is a tough job, though, against the Bears. And Greg Florimo is the man with the ball and gets as far as the 30-metre line. First man up was Steele Reckless to make the tackle. Moving up into the front row today, Steele Reckless. The Bears now 15 metres short of halfway. Mark Soden, first scurry from dummy half. Hooker on hooker. Teaven made the tackle. Jenny Williams passing. He was at second receiver. They've used up 5 tackles, the Bears, in the first set of 6 for the match. Kicking duties, the first of the day with Michael Buettner. He got the kick away, I thought, from inside his own 40. So Hudson had to attack the football and then tried to get around the outside of Brett Dallas. There was a bit of risk involved in that. A couple of former Bears in the side in Toshak and Craig Wilson. Right now with Clinton O'Brien, player in line for State of Origin selection this year. Teaven, Nathan Antonik at halfback. Now with Reckless, gets inside the North Sydney half. Billy Moore was there to make the tackle with his captain Taylor. Now with it is Wilson, kicking from 35 metres out. Sears is back, but it goes into touch. So a controlled set of 6 from the Crushers.
And Craig Wilson will be the bugbear in Norse play today. The former Norse player himself now with the Crushers. He's having a very good season. Got our man of the match here a couple of weeks ago against Balmain. Very talented player. And the Norse players should be able to handle him pretty well, though. They know a lot about him. Just wondering, Steve Roach, conditions look perfect for rugby league down there, but there's been a lot of rain in Brisbane over the last week or so. How's the ground holding up?
Yeah, the field's chopped up a little bit. I'm sure it'll be slippery underfoot, but one good thing for the Crushers, Dave Watson, the New Zealand international, played half a game in reserve grade after a hamstring injury. He was out for 4 weeks. He's probably their best attacking player, so they'll use him off the bench in this game today.
Yes, in the meantime, 25 metres out from their own line. Soden working with Florimo. Taking that short side. Toshak was there to make the tackle. Now Taylor slows it down and brings more into play. The fend unsuccessful. Teaven and Antonik, the tacklers. They will shuffle between halfback and hooker today, those two. Taylor's kick straight down the centre of the park. Hubbard is the man at the back for the Crushers. Williams, who's really improved as a first-grade player this season and is certainly worthy of a spot in the starting side today.
Yeah, it's a rare start to a game for Danny Williams. He's a very strong player, but they'll miss Gary Larson. All the players, the rest of the forwards, will have to improve their work rate to cover what Gary usually does.
Clinton O'Brien, 5 metres inside the Bears half. A chance to attack on the left. They come the short side with Saunders, wearing 23 but playing at 5'8". Last tackle for the Crushers. It's with Wilson again to supply the kick. Chase being led by Shevkovsky, but Sears very confident at the moment. Basically, he's been mistake-free for the past month and came up with a take that time.
That man Wilson again. He's putting some early pressure on Sears down this right-hand side of the park. And a good chase there from the Crushers. A very good positive start for them today.
Taylor will have the line drop out. Forward a few metres over the goal line. 40 on the fly. The Crushers with a chance to attack. Hubbard takes the first 35 metres out from the Bears line. Now Clinton O'Brien. Chasing out of marker was Williams. Fairley was the man over the top. Teven moving along Wilson, then for Toshak. Now inside the 20. The Crushers deep to the right. That's the way they come. Teven at first receiver. A dummy to Retchler. Saunders there for Hubbard. Hubbard now 10 metres out from the line. Nice tackle from Billy Moore. Saunders. Teven. Inside pass comes for Clinton O'Brien. The offload. Back for Prothero. Tried to hurdle his way to the try line. Last tackle. Anthony. Teven. Spiralling pass for Wilson. Into the in goal. The Crushers, the chase is there. Bickerstaff has forced it. First try will be to the South Queensland Crushers. Matt Bickerstaff led the chase on the Craig Wilson kick. 4-0.
Oh, yeah, great start to the Crushers. That man Wilson, his third kick of the match, yields a try. Is Bickerstaff onside? That's the question I asked myself. Eddie Ward said yes, a nice little touchdown, his first touch of the football today. Bickerstaff earns him 4 points, and his team. A very good staff. They've worked up to this. The Norse players, they should know that Wilson's, he's the man, and they sort of hung off him a bit, allowing him that precious couple of seconds to put the kick on. And Bickerstaff, good start.
Played 5 matches in first grade last year, and that's his second try. First for the season. And again, we're seeing the value of Craig Wilson to this side.
Well, Steve Bleakley has made a change in his team from the last time we saw him a couple of weeks ago. They've got Craig Teven playing in the halfback role, really. He's got number 9 on his back, and he is the captain. He'll pack into the scrums in that role, but he's the organiser, and he's doing a great job so far. The game's only 4 minutes old, no dramas, but he's there, and the Crushers, in the couple of times they've had the football, seem to know where they're going, which is something they haven't done in the past.
Shivkovsky with the goal-kicking duties, a player very much in the news over the past 2 or 3 weeks. It's his 3rd game back. And this first kick of the day from 15 in from touch and 15 out. Interesting looking mascot behind Clinton Shivkovsky. The Big D. So Shivkovsky's kick to convert the Bickerstaff try successful. The home side in front, an impressive start from them. 6-0 to the Crushers over the Bears. Welcome back to Suncorp Stadium. Saturday afternoon football. This is the 10th round of the Optus Cup. And a forward pass called from Saunders to O'Brien. Can there be anything worse after scoring a try?
No.
Good answer.
Yeah. Don Saunders gets a rare chance in first grade. Well, I don't know. That looked like he passed it backwards to me. And Eddie Ward, from where was he? About 40 metres away. Maybe he got a call from the touch judge.
Well, there's plenty of those that go unchecked, that's for sure. North Sydney, the opportunity knocks for them. And in from the wing is Nigel Roy, only 5 metres out from the line. So let's see if the Crushers' defence is up to the task. Taylor. Missing out Florimo with a pass now. Florimo then for Sears. Sears well tackled by Toshak. Former teammates. The Bears, Dallas, Florimo. Step and a look to run straighter. Saunders was called in over the top. North Sydney trying an inside ball this time. Josh Stewart. A 3-man tackle from the Crushers. The Bears are set to the left. Taylor, high pass for him to take. Now with Fairley. Fairley, big fend. Wilson was able to hang on in the tackle. And they've used up 5, so the Crushers so far have come up with the answers. Taylor, here's the cross kick. Hudson has turned around. Now watch the bounce. It bounces favourably for the Crushers. Touch in goal.
And North Sydney, they look a bit flat, the Bears blocker. What do you think?
Well, they certainly are. I mean, the whole year they've been off to slow starts. They can't afford to keep giving sides a point start early in the first couple of minutes. The only one that's hitting hard over the top at the moment is the replacement, Danny Williams. He's really going in hard over the top, but North Sydney, they're asleep.
So Saunders turning inside for Toshak. Last year, these sides met at North Sydney Oval. It was a win to the Bears 18-4. But in 1995, when these sides played their lone battle at the Suncorp Stadium, it was the Crushers' first win. It was round 5. And I can also report on that side that played for the Crushers that day, not one player remains at the club. In the space of 2 years, they've lost a lot. Here's Sears. Another good take from Matty Sears. And the Bears inside their own 20. Taylor working Williams, did well to get back for the first hit up. Nothing as far as the 20. Wilson was around the legs. Now with Fairley. An angled run, Bickerstaff the tackler. Soden working with Taylor. Now for Billy Moore. Josh Stewart. Just on Billy Moore too. I mean, he's a certainty for Origin selection, but he will now know there is pressure there. Jeremy Sloss last week for the Gold Coast wearing the 13. Very impressive, 3 tries. So there's a bit of back row depth for Queensland. Here's Hubbard to the 30-metre line. Danny Williams led the chase there for the Bears. Hudson has come all the way in off the left wing. Always an elusive player, Jason Hudson. Tackler was Fairley. Nice quick play the ball. Wilson. Over the top was Ben Eichen, and a bit of push and shove on Craig Wilson. Now O'Brien. Nice crunch over the top from Stewart. Soden had the legs. Antonic. Florimo and Trindle containing whatever attack the Crushers are offering in this set of 6. There's the kick from Wilson. Sears is back on his own 10-metre line. They finished off the tackle on Wilson after the kick. He's had some troubles with an ankle injury over the past month, Craig Wilson, and he was just a little ginger to get to his feet. North Sydney, Danny Williams, Teven the tackler. Williams' work rate already the top of both the tackle count and the hit up. Stewart, a nice run. Retchless was the tackler. Taylor, there's a gap there through the centre. Taylor trying to exploit that with the inside ball for Moore. Last tackle for the Bears. Taylor from 35 metres out. They run on the last for Dallas. The kick is ricocheted off the legs of Hudson. I dare say that is accidental. It should be a Crushers feed. It will be.
That's better stuff from the Bears, though. They're starting to get their act together now. Bit of possession coming their way. Hitting the line with a lot more gusto and good quick play the balls. Catching the Crushers, well, nearly offside. Eddie could have given a penalty in the last 3 tackles for offside. Let play go on, and I think that's good refereeing. Norths are on a bit of a roll.
Just outside the Crushers' 10-metre line. The early advantage with the home team. A try to their second rower, Matt Bickerstaff, off a Craig Wilson kick. Shifkovsky's conversion made it 6-0. Hudson heavily involved in the most recent passage of play. Buettner, the tackler. Now with O'Brien. Picked up and driven back by Florimo. He did well to control the football. He was thinking about offloading. Now Antony. Here for Saunders. Well handled by the North's defence. Teven this time gets to dummy half. There's an appeal for the penalty. Billy Moore is the man who's infringed.
Yeah, just watching the Crushers, it would seem that maybe Teven is controlling the play as a halfback when they're attacking in the North's zone, and that in their own half that Antony is running the plays.
Here's Teven. And with Retchless. Now Wilson. Last time here we saw Steele Retchless score one of the more unusual tries simply by the mere fact that Retchless was the one who scored it. Very rare to come up with a try in first grade, and it was off a kick and regather. Can he provide that sort of magic today? Retchless, 25 metres out from the Bears line. They can go left and right. Wilson is to the left of the ruck. He's with it now, Craig Wilson. He has a man on his outside, Nathan Solodjinkin out there. The ball comes loose, a race for the loose ball. Eddie Ward rules knock on against the Crushers. So early changes already in this Crushers side, Fatty. Mark Tukey out there, as well as Nathan Solodjinkin making his first grade debut. between them, well, really only a handful of first-grade games. Solodjinkin just 18 years of age, Tukey 20. And here's Dallas, made his comeback last week, scored a try against the Magpies. Now Billy Moore. Determined run as we expect from Billy. Saunders was the tackler. Taylor back here for Trindle. Trying to find a hole in the Crushers' defence. Fairly. Here it comes for Florimo. Able to offload for Soden. Lob pass there for Taylor. Taylor gets away from Prothero. Now Soden. Here for Stewart. A short pass for Florimo. Then a turn for Dallas. Dallas is around the outside of Hudson. Then away from Toshak. But Dallas gets the footwork happening. Last tackle for the Bears. Fairly. Trindle just feeding it on for Taylor to try the right footer. Hubbard is there. And not a great threat from the Bears on that last tackle to the Crushers.
Good to see Brett Dallas get into some open space over there. He's looks like he's still got the speed and the footwork as he's warming up for this year's State of Origin series. Good run from Teven. Look at him go. Gets to the halfway nearly.
Crushers now with Antonik. Hubbard up in the line for Tukey. His first touch. Soden chopped him down nicely in the tackle. Last it is for the Crushers. Wilson controlling the kicking game. He's almost hit the in-goal judge on the full. It's going to sit up, though, now for Sears to have to run out from his own in-goal, and that is a magical kick from Craig Wilson. Could there be any better weighted than that? A metre in from the dead ball line.
No, he's having a day with his kicking game, isn't he, Craig Wilson? What worries me about this is that Wilson just seems to be concentrating so far on his kicking. He's only run the ball once, apart from when he's had the ball in his hands to kick, and sometimes, you know, when you're a lock forward, you've really got to mix it up a bit better than that.
Hudson was the tackler on Sears, so North Sydney at the moment, the side under pressure. A line dropout. The second for the match, Taylor. That one better, 45 on the fly. Retchless is the man back. He's now pushed inside his own 40. Retchless on the pickup. Straight line of North Sydney defence. That's a big result from a line dropout. Trindle making the tackle just 5 metres inside Bears territory. Here's Tukey. Shouldering his way forward. Crushers with Teven again at first receiver in that attacking zone. Saunders wider here for Prothero, then for Egar, the former Newcastle Knight. Didn't see any first grade football at all last year, Michael Egar, either as a starter or off the bench. So he went in search of greener pastures. Now Antonik, Wilson, then Toshak. He was looking for his winger Hudson. He was well behind. 10 metres out from the Bears line. Hudson, Teven. He'll run the ball up. Now Tukey. An art form to barge over from close to the try line. Teven back for Wilson. They want the one-pointer. It's come well off the side of the boot. It's with Benny Eichen. Can he get to the field of play? He can't. Well, he did, but then he's back to the in-goal.
Yeah, Benny Eichen's first touch, and it's hammer time for Ben. Tried in vain to get back into the field of play. Actually did. Got half a metre in there and got a smashed up.
What about the option of a field goal, Paul?
Yeah, it's a nice little lead, 7-0, but you know, it's too early. You're in that attacking zone. You've really got to make the most of it. But they've had some luck, and they got the ball back. Another 6 tackles at their disposal. Oh, dazzling Dave Cooper, big run.
Dazzling Dave Cooper. Now Tukey. They're 25 metres out from the Bears line. They lead by 6 points to 0. A try in the first 5 to Matt Bickerstaff. Teven over the blind side. That pass comes back for Solodjinkin. Now 15 metres out. Wilson, Saunders, skipping out Prothero and picking out Hubbard to try and step his way through the line. Taylor was able to come up with a tackle. Saunders back for Teven. Some long passing with Wilson. Solodjinkin was on his inside. This is Hudson 10 metres out. It's all the Crushers at the moment. It's the last tackle. South Queensland with Wilson. The kick over the top. No one can get to it on the full, and again it will be a line dropout. Soden was back to clean up.
Oh, yeah, good play from the Crushers. They've really got their act together today. They're not being they're showing a lot of patience with the football, that's what I'm saying. And they're giving themselves every opportunity to score. And it's a matter of this North's defence cracking. It hasn't cracked so far. It's looking pretty good. 58 tackles to 39 North have had to make.
So with those individual counts beginning to mount, Trindle 11 tackles, Fairley and Williams not too far behind, Josh Stewart 9. So all the pack involved. He awarded real time off for this line dropout. And absorbed everything that the Crushers have been able to offer.
Yeah, if Norths can hold out here, then they'll just about frustrate the Crushers out of it.
Here's Dave Cooper. Spun away from the Trindle tackle, wrapped up by Fairley. 35 out from the North line, Anthony sending Toshak on his way. Stewart went for the shoulder charge and then just dropped a little knee, if you like, at the finish. There were 2 players involved to slow up the play the ball.
Well, they'd have to take a shot for goal here. That's for sure, and that's exactly what they're doing. So for all those tackles, what in the 20th tackle mark. Well, I'm not sure that the knee made him lose the football, but Eddie Ward thought so. So Shivkovsky gets a chance to give them an 8-point lead.
This one, as you can see, from just outside the 20. Crowd for this game today, it appears to be a little bigger than what was here for the Balmain match in round 8. Plenty of North jumpers out there as well. It's been a tough old trot for the Crushers. After the win over Parramatta in round 2, 7 straight losses. The last 5 they've lost by no more than 10 points. Shivkovsky from 21 out for an 8-0 lead. This kick is successful again. 2 from 2 for Clinton Shivkovsky. We'll take a break. 20 gone. 8-0 to the Crushers. And Dave Cooper. Oh, runs into a big shoulder from Brenton Pomeroy, who's just come onto the field. Has planted one on the shoulder of Dave Cooper. And I know Blocker on the sideline is a big fan of Brenton Pomeroy as Tukey now attracts some attention. Nice first entry from Brenton Pomeroy, Steve.
Yeah, he's a good player. He's been using the interchange over the last couple of years. But this Crushers side, they've been good so far. They've only made 1 handling error. They've got some good ball players, Teven and Wilson, and they've really controlled this game so far.
Saunders kicking on the last tackle, well inside his own 40. Roy and Sears are back. Sears is with it. Matty Sears takes off cross field. He out sprints the cover of Egar. Here it is with Brett Dallas. Stepping around Matt Toshak. The danger signs are there when Brett Dallas has had possession in this game. Now Michael Butner with Florimo, Tukey and Teven combining. And North Sydney, they've had 1 chance inside the Crushers 20 in this match. Coming up with 0. Now Pomeroy gets the Bears inside the Crushers half. Taylor. Elation on his inside. Moore gets Aiken into the action.
Good
Saunders.
tackle. Yeah, lovely tackle from Saunders there, just covering back on the inside.
Taylor. Cutout ball. Here with Florimo. Skips out Butner. Finds Sears. Sears had Dallas. He loses possession. Ward had played advantage, had he? For inside the 10, the outside players. And with Taylor in the kicking ranks, you have to take the 2, surely.
That's exactly what they'll do. Get some points on the board. They run some decoys, don't they? North's got lots of very interesting plays, lots of different angles that they run. Here's another one. That's a good decoy. And they're always offside, according to Eddie Ward. Lucky because they lost the football in the end, North.
This is the leading point scorer in the Optus Cup, the leading point scorer of all time with North Sydney. But this year, his tally has topped the 100 mark, 103. That includes 7 tries. He netted 12 last week against Western Suburbs. A try and 4 goals. Only 4 from 6, though, for Jason last week. This one from 16 metres out. Sydney looking for their first points of the day. Taylor, successful, as you expect. So 8-2 is the scoreline. The Crushers over the Bears. It gets North Sydney on the board, but basically they've been starved of possession. A good battle on this Saturday afternoon thus far. Shivkovsky, it will be to get us back underway. Coming into this match, North Sydney, in terms of tries conceded, they are at the top of the table. They've conceded only 22 tries, best defence in the league. But with the talent available, they would expect to do a little more with their attack. They're outside the top 5 clubs. Moore is held up by Wilson. North's outside their own 20. Rush's defence has been pretty solid so far. Pomery, 5 short of halfway. Teven was around the leg. Soden. Now Moore gets another touch. Good metres for Billy Moore. 40 metres out from the Crushers line. Plenty of decoys running again. Taylor. There's a nice short pass. Well read by the defence. There were plenty there for the Crushers. Bickerstaff, also Wilson.
And he went very wide. And still recklessly gets them some good yards. Billy Moore's having a great game again today. I think he's playing the best I've ever seen in Billy Moore. He's a consistent, good, solid footballer, but this year he's playing as well as ever.
Nice tackle this time for South Queensland. Teven with a kick from inside his own 40, but not angling for the sideline. Nigel Roy, well tackled by Michael Egar. The Bears with Sears. Egar's there to make the double. Sears, an offload for Dallas. Brett Dallas now. Thrown to ground by Prothero. Bears on their own 40. This is Will Lation. Penrith Jr. Caruana now on in 14. Fairly through the centre. Clinton O'Brien back on, made the tackle. Caruana gets them started for Billy Moore to bump away from Egar. This is an inspired effort from Billy Moore so far. Caruana for Taylor. Long, flat pass for Florimo. Buettner's on his outside. Dallas will go on the chase. Hudson gets to it on the full. I think the idea is right. Kick needed a little more height.
Yeah, pretty good kick here from Greg Florimo. Found the end goal, which you should always do, but Hudson had it covered very well. Teven now from dummy half.
And already the Crushers 8 short of halfway. Is Retchless. Just one of the real honest toilers in the forward packs of the Optus Cup. And again, they've done well just controlling the football. There's nothing too dramatic about the way they're attacking, coming up with anything flash, but they're making good metres. 5 tackles up. They're 35 out from the North line. Anthony. Well, that kick's nothing special at the end, straight to Sears. And Sears gets a free run from the back. He'll go across field. Toshak lines him up. And Toshak makes the tackle.
Look, they're not a bad side, the Crushers, but they just don't have a game breaker, do they? There's no Steve Menzies or a Jim Dimmick. There's no one there who can take the game by the scruff of the neck and just say, I'm going to do this all on my own. They're a good, solid team, but they just lack that extra bit of class.
Caruana gets to halfway, yes. Paul, and the win they had this year over Parramatta, they had Dave Watson, Craig Wilson and Troy Pezzett all handing in fine games as Aiken has lost it. Knock on against North Sydney, but in that game they had attacking options. They had players on the left and the right side of the ruck, and at the moment with Wilson directing so much of their play, well, the defence just is basically there to stand and wait. The final 10 of the first half and against the feed, and it's with Taylor. Well, a try came from one against the feed on Monday night, it was, down in Canberra. North Sydney, though, aren't going to make much of it because Lation's put it down. Cole, 35 out from the Crushers line.
Well, they did the hard work. They put the big push on, got the ball, and what, 2 tackles later, it's all fallen down for them. Lation looking where he was going to run, where he was going to make the bust. They left the ball behind.
Time off here as Trindle's left the field. Josh Stewart heading back out there. He's improved just in the week since he's played for City Origin. Josh Stewart, he just looks a more confident player. Having a good year for the Bears. See what the Crushers can offer from this scrum. Anthony, Saunders, Hudson in off the left wing. Butner is there with Matty Sears. So the Crushers on their own 40. Anthony here for Prothero. Fairly went over the top. Combining with Pomeroy. A slow play the ball. As with Clinton O'Brien. Running straight at Will Lation. Double offload. The Crushers have themselves in good position. Anthony for Wilson. There's the show of the ball to Egar. The defence drives sideways on Craig Wilson. It was Billy Moore. Now Teven. Anthony, wrenchless. Putting a little step in his work as Caruana made the tackle. Again 5 up. With Craig Wilson trying the high ball. Sears has had to turn round and chase. He can't get to it on the full. Right next to the upright. Egar misses. Michael Egar had a chance for a try.
Put on the line, let it go.
.31 minutes gone. A very close call. Michael Egar following through on the Wilson kick.
Oh, they were desperate and unlucky there. It was a great kick from Wilson. When the kicks come down near the post like that, they're very hard to handle. It's actually bounced off the 4X sign. And no joy for the Crushers, but they still lead 8 points to 2. I reckon Peter Louis would be a little bit disappointed in the way his team has performed in this first half.
5 tackles here. Taylor is with it. Running up to the line, kicks for himself, Jason Taylor. He was impeded on the way through, was able to slip the pass away to Stewart. Oh, clever work from Jason Taylor. First the kick, then the pass. And the Bears are on the board, the try to Stewart.
That's what I talk about, game breakers, touch of class. And Jason Taylor is one of the quite a few players they've got in that team can do things like this. The little kick through. Look at that hand, those hands there from Taylor, just magnificent. And Josh Stewart, the big prop, gets a try. Good stuff there from Josh Stewart, just following through Taylor. Nearly did it all on his own, Taylor, and great stuff for the Bears, and they needed this before half-time.
Yeah, great work from Taylor. Looked even better on that last angle. Committed a couple of defenders with the pass, just the little touch on. And Stewart, a well-deserved try. He doesn't score too many. But he's got one here to give his side a chance to level the scores. Well, how cruel is it? Egar scores at the other end. The Crushers have what would have been a 12-point lead. And they're about to be level. Just a matter of 60 seconds later. Here's Jay Taylor. Right in front. 2 from 2. He set up the try. And it's 8-all. Saturday afternoon football, the Crushers and the Bears.
Whenever something happens,
Any hour.
Stark contrast to last night at the Sydney Football Stadium. The opening match of round 10. Blizzard-like conditions. And North Sydney at 8-all. Try to Josh Stewart. Now Caruana. Pomeroy to go forward. Spun away from the Teven tackle. Good metre straight through the centre from Brenton Pomeroy. Now Caruana adds another 10 for Butner. Dallas had come infield looking for the football. Butner may not need him. Now he needs him, and there goes Brett Dallas. Away for the try. Well, he chased all the way through Bretty Dallas. He was looking for the football, and Butner supplied him with it. 12-8 to the Bears.
Well, don't tell me the can's been opened, the sardine can, because they're cutting loose here now, North Sydney. Some feeble Crushers defence, really. this in particular, Michael Buettner just strolls through, waltzes through, and look, this man Dallas, you can't give him anything. And that was easy stuff for Brett Dallas, but Michael Buettner set it up. Good run from Caruana from dummy half, and not putting the man down on the ground, allowing them to offload. And Bickerstaff couldn't get Buettner, and no one was going to catch Brett Dallas. And Steve Roach, the Bears, starting to look a little bit better.
Yeah, they're getting a little bit of a roll on, but the last 3 times that they've had the ball, the Crushers' markers haven't worked, and that's been the problem. They've controlled the game for most of this half, but they've just dropped off the last 10 minutes.
Still go back to that near try to Michael Egar. How different things could have been.
Well, Andrew, you've seen the Crushers quite a bit this year. This seems to happen to them all the time.
Yeah, there's plenty who leave with very sorry looks on their faces, the Crushers fans. You have to say long-suffering, even though they've only been in the competition since '95. Wins are few and far between, and this is often the story as Taylor, with this kick, he will make you pay all afternoon. 3 from 3. So from a 6-point lead to the Crushers, they're now down by 6. 14-8 to the Bears. And Michael Buettner stepping his way through. But Dallas, the good sign was he'd come infield looking for the football and then trailed through in support. So 2 tries in 2 weeks to Brett Dallas. On a personal note, he set sail for the top try scorers. He's given them a handy start. It'll be no surprise if he's up near the top come September. Shivkovsky with a restart. They have to be down, the Crushers, after the last 5 minutes. And all this inside the final 10 of the first half. Tell you what, with Caruana out there, it's been a good spark. A dummy half. Some talk during the week that South Sydney, they've got many players in their sights, but they gave a big rep for Caruana, the sort of player they're looking for. Here it is with Stewart, the first try scorer. Wrapped up by Wilson. Caruana again at dummy half. Billy Moore on for Taylor. Taylor then for Buettner. Inside the Crushers half. Now Ben Eichen. He put the right arm fend, but the tackle was there from Egar. Nigel Roy. Elation. Taylor. Taylor kicking for Billy Moore to run through. Will Billy get the bounce? It comes for Hudson. Back for the Bears and a knock on at the finish. First one against the Crushers. It will be a Bears feed, will it? It will be.
Yes, it will be. But once again, you see the difference between the two sides. The Crushers aren't willing to try any stuff like this. Now, Taylor, that's another little kick that nearly came off. They'll get the ball back anyway. But the Crushers, don't want to be too critical of them, but they could stand there all day and throw the ball around and not crack it for a try through that North Sydney defence. They've got to be willing to try something different.
Scrum 20 metres out from the Crushers line. If they score here, well, this last 10 becomes one of the biggest tragedies for the Crushers in their short history. As Eichen is held up by Saunders. Caruana working the open side for Pomery to get within 10 metres of the try line. Caruana again, Taylor. Fairley, cuts out Fairley for Billy Moore. Good defence from Anthony. Now only 5 metres out, the North Sydney Bears. Caruana, Taylor. Again with Buettner. Then the pass for Eichen. Try coming for Roy. There it is. Nigel Roy in the corner for North Sydney. Well, it is a tragedy of gigantic proportions, this, the last 5 or 6 minutes.
And they did that so easy, didn't they? North Sydney, it's been a great 5 minutes for them. Down 8-2 to 18-8 up. And it seems as though they've only started playing the last 10 minutes or so. They look at all the Crushers players over there. Now, they stretch them wide. And it's still one-on-one. But Shivkovsky had gone in to sort of half-pie take Eichen. Didn't need to do that. Had to stay on his man. You've got to have confidence on your inside man and outside man. Now, Egar's got Eichen covered. Easy stuff there for Nigel Roy.
2 wingers getting in on the act. He hasn't seen much of the football so far in the game. A rare touch comes up with a meaty. Taylor gets a tough one from the sideline.
He doesn't have tough ones, does he?
You'd have to put him his side of halfway, probably.
Well, I hope the Crushers don't get too downhearted. They were in this game, right, for the first 30 minutes. They controlled it well. They did everything right, and they were playing good football. And that's what Steve Bleakley should be pointing out to them as they go in it for Oranges.
Let's watch Taylor. Right from the sideline, 21 metres out. Here it comes, Jason Taylor. There's the magnet. Taylor is incredible. And North Sydney open up a 12-point margin. What a fateful last 10 it's been for the South Queensland Crushers. 20 points to 8. We'll take a break. The Bears over the Crushers. Right then, ready for the second half. 20 points to 8 to the Bears. Crushers needing first points. But it's hard to know where they're going to come from. And there's a heavy tackle on Clinton O'Brien. First up came from Josh Stewart. This is Mark Prothero. Making 5 metres. Teven wants a quick play of the ball. He makes an appeal to Eddie Ward. Steele Retchless. A strong game from Steele Retchless today. As Teven to Antonic. This is Saunders. Deciding to come back in field. Soden was the tackler. Clinton O'Brien a second hit up in this set of 6. The ball came back. Was there a knock on there? Not detected by Eddie Ward. And the Crushers on the last tackle are on halfway. Teven. Wilson on the short side. There's the right footer from Craig Wilson. He'll find the line. Nothing too daring about that. Second half starting much the way we started the game. Steve Roach is on the sideline. What did you learn at half-time, Steve?
Well, Peter Louis for North Sydney, he wants to see more enthusiasm in defence. There's too many Crusher players standing in the tackle. Also, Craig Teven is the only danger from the dummy half area. He said if we support the ball carrier, we will get the result in the end. The last 10 minutes of the first half really showed what sort of football we can. Let's go out confident in the second half. Steve Bleakley for the Crushers. He was very happy with the Crushers' ball control in the first half. Be alert on the inside. The defence, there's a lot of inside passes from Taylor. And he said, look, you control the first 30 minutes and then you fell into a hole. Concentrate. Don't drop your head when things aren't going your way.
See the knock on from Matt Sears as they look to spread the ball early. Just opens the door a little for the Crushers. Scrum just outside the 20-metre line, north end of the field. So Saunders at 5'8". Picks out Hubbard. Hubbard inside for Hudson. Florimo was waiting and makes the tackle. The Crushers 30 out. Bickerstaff, their try scorer. Next 5. But no sign of an offload as Antonic. Teven. Teven here for Retchless. Over the top came Trindle. Soden the work down below. Now with Teven. Wilson. Prothero is with it. Prothero gets straight through Mark Prothero and sears the try saver. Well, Mark Prothero with a little dummy. They all fell for it. The Crushers, long pass. Saunders. Saunders, the cutout ball with Toshak stepping into the tackle of Butner. Last tackle for South Queensland. Saunders. Just a bit of hesitation at dummy half. Then Bickerstaff. Wilson kicks through off the deck. Cleared up here by Eichen. He can get to the field of play. No, he can't. It looks sloppy on the last, but I guess they've got some sort of result, the Crushers.
Yeah, once again, some promising play there from the Crushers. A bit of a dusty kick, but good work from Craig Wilson. Here's Prothero, makes the bust, but easily beats a Ben Eichen tackle. And what a tackle from Matt Sears, a dead set try saver. Beautiful stuff from Sears. Gee, Benny Eichen, want to watch his defence here. They're one-on-one.
Here come the Crushers with Hubbard. Hubbard trying to get on the outside of Moore. This time Eichen makes the tackle. They're inside the 30. That's where they start the set of 6. Teven. Short pass there for O'Brien. O'Brien able to pop the one out the back for Teven. Then Prothero. Will he get another go to crack the line? He got through Stewart that time, Mark Prothero. 15 out from the north line. The Crushers trailing by 12. Teven. Here's the support. It's Retchless who straightens up to within 10 of the line. Antony. Craig Teven at first receiver. Wilson has Bickerstaff. He picks out Hudson. Hudson wrestled away from Florimo. But the second man was there in Soden. Now Anthony. Saunders. Saunders throws a nice short pass. Held up was Egar, 5 short of the line. Now Saunders, last tackle, Teven. Quick hands for Hubbard. Hubbard, has he been able to force the football? No.
Well, the Crushers, some of the best attack we've seen from them all match. Once again, the North's defence holds on. Mother Hubbard went to the cupboard, but it was bare.
Oh,
Couldn't come up with a try.
well, they pay you the big bucks. And North Sydney back over the 20. Look, the difference there was the variation in passing from the Crushers, a variety of short balls and some cut-out passes. They had the North Sydney defence guessing. And no result, as the Bears back short of the 40 now. Soden, here's one of their kicking options, kicking from inside the 42 mark, Soden. The bounce is a good one for Hudson. Oh, here is Hubbard. And Buettner, the chase was well and truly on the money. Here's Clinton Shivkovsky. Over the top, Danny Williams combining with his second row partner Fairley. Out of marker, Fairley missed the tackle on Teven. That's a good run from Craig Teven for 10 metres.
Yeah, the captain, come on, boys. What's this? They've got to follow suit. He's having a big game, Craig Teven.
At Toshak, short of halfway. Antonik at dummy half. O'Brien, now Retchless. Front rowers combining at first and second receiver. Bickerstaff has lost it, a 2-man tackle, but a knock-on ruled against the Crushers.
Yeah, look, that little piece of play there from the Crushers is good in theory, but someone's got to actually hit the line at some pace. You've got some, gone from prop to a second row, but none of them were moving. The man on the end of that line has got to be charging at the defensive line.
The Bears go for a short side play from the scrum. Florimo at pace. Egar, nice tackle, ball and all, pushing Florimo back. Nigel Roy scored the try just on half-time. Taylor then for Williams. Good step away from Clinton O'Brien. More a swerve than a step from Danny Williams. Now Soden. Here for Pomeroy, taking some punishing defence from the Crushers. He was from Clinton O'Brien. Soden, Taylor, attacking the ruck. Billy Moore through the centre. There was a caller forward, then Taylor. Quick hands now for the Bears. Brett Dallas. Dallas is away from 2. Then from a third, Hubbard hangs on in the tackle. Brett Dallas gets as close as you can get. Soden, a dummy half. He goes straight over Mark Soden. The easiest of tries to the Bears hooker. 24-8, and the rush continues for North Sydney.
And the scoreboard attendant is taking a couple of aspiros. This could be a headache for him this afternoon, this second half. What's Dallas? Oh, swivel hips. He kills him on the disco floors, and this is why. Swiveling all over the place, and still nearly gets a try himself. And the Crushers obviously worried about what was happening out wide. They were outnumbered. Ordinary defence, close to your line.
Like Soden, the man who was able to burrow over. Fits into the veteran class in the North Sydney side. Behind Greg Florimo, with Gary Larson sidelined at the moment. Still go back to, I think it was the 30th minute. Michael Egar had a chance for a try for the Crushers when they led 8-2. It would have been 14-2. And now some 15, 16 minutes later, they're staring down an 18-point deficit. Taylor, again an easy one for Jason Taylor. 5 from 5, 26-8, we'll take a break. Back with the action, and Clint Shivkovsky. A restart to the Bears goal line. Now, Steve will confirm for us, but I think Dave Watson's now out there, and it's been basically, is it too late? They send out a player they would be hoping is an attacking weapon. Well, hang on. Hold the knock here before we even get to blocker. Hudson has scored in the corner. A drop ball from North Sydney. I think Steve Trindle was the player, and the Crushers have come up with a try.
Oh, that's what they needed. Good on your Crushers. They've come back from the kick-off. The defence has forced this mistake. Some good, strong defence there. And silly play, trying to offload. No need to, just got to take the tackle. Steve Trindle, the man. Brett Dallas comes up with a miss. Hudson, he can score a try, can put one on. The Crushers the back end of the game. 26-12.
Well, it has to lift their confidence anyway. They've stemmed the flow of blood, that's for sure. Hudson scoring that try. Because the Bears had scored 4 straight. And Jason Hudson, the 4-pointer. I was just about to go to you, Steve, about Dave Watson out there.
Yeah, it might have been a little bit late. They put on so many points in the last 10 minutes of the first half of the North Sydney side, but I'm sure he'll lift the spirits, and I'm sure that try will get them back into the game. Just quickly, Josh Stewart has got a bad cut, some bad luck for him, in between his webbing of his fingers, so it'll take a while to stitch that up. I don't know if we'll see him back.
Shivkovsky from the sideline. Almost back to the 20-metre line. This one will swing to the left. So unsuccessful. Clinton Shivkovsky. 26-12 the scoreline. The Crushers need to come up with a double strike. Well, here's a concern for Queensland and for the Bears, Brett Dallas. Problem with the right shoulder. He's still down with the trainer. Hasn't gone to the rooms as yet. Taylor. Been a while since they've had a kick-off from a scoring situation as O'Brien, he runs into some heavy work. Still able to offload. That's probably been a feature of Clinton O'Brien. Some of the passes haven't been top shelf, but he's been in a position to offload 3 or 4 times in the match. Good run from Egar.
Well, that try it should lift the Crushers, and especially with Watson on there. He's a pretty handy player, former international for New Zealand. I watched him play the first half in second grade. He was fairly quiet, obviously saving himself for a big match in this second half here.
And Brett Dallas has now gone to the room, so we may not see him again in this match. Jason Hudson has got the Crushers inside the Bears 40. Teven for Wilson. He'll send Toshak on the chase to the corner. Matt Sears, no real pressure there as it goes over the sideline. But the Crushers at least will keep the Bears hem. Now, what's the news on Brett Dallas, Steve?
He's just going in the sheds to get it strapped. He obviously needs football not long before the State of Origin. North will send him back out there.
Of course, it's been a foot injury that's been his main concern, so the shoulder problem a new one. So 10 metres out from the Bears line. And David Hall is now on, the man replacing Brett Dallas. It is Taylor for Pomeroy. There's been some keen running from Brenton Pomeroy every touch of the ball he's had. A second touch here for David Hall, running like a front rower. Played one Origin match. It was the 3rd game of the 95 series, David Hall. Fairley. He's been quiet today, David Fairley. There's Soden. Out of dummy half. That's how he scored his try, through burrowing low. He made 10 metres that time. Last tackle, Jason Taylor. Kicking for the wing of Shivkovsky. No problems there for Clinton Shivkovsky. Able to get away from Nigel Roy. So the Crushers back in possession. We'll have a look at the lower grades too. Very tight battles in both second grade and the under-20s today. Under-20s, or rather second grade 16, all a try in the last minute for North Sydney. It was the other way around in the under-20s. The Crushers scored in the last minute, but were unsuccessful with their conversion attempts. So a 16-14 win to the Bears. In South Queensland, Antoniuk, Watson. Now the gap has opened up. The Crushers just outside the 20. Prothero was the man hitting the gap. Here comes for Teven. Long pass for Wilson. They're stretched here, North Sydney. Toshak is with it. Butner is there to make the tackle. It is the last, so it's a changeover.
Once again, that left-hand defence of North Sydney letting them down. Mark Prothero's a pretty strong runner. He just strode once again through the tackle of Ben Eichen. And when they came left, It all came to nothing through Toshak.
Well, Sydney, that man Pomeroy lets rip again into Cooper and Tukey. This is Danny Williams. Got away from Cooper. Prothero hangs on in the tackle. Well, Sydney with Taylor inside for Moore. Now inside the Crushers half. This is the last for the Bears. Taylor this time decides to kick to the wing of Jason Hudson. Well, he's certainly been involved in the game, Jason Hudson. Oh, he left it to the last minute to have a go at the football, then sets it up for Paul Hubbard, committing 3 defenders. Jason Hudson. A little risky, but it paid off for the Crushers winger. And now Shivkovsky. He gets the defence offside. Ward hasn't had too many problems with the two teams today. And he's played plenty of advantage. And this is Cooper. Held up by Brenton Pomeroy. Teven. Nice line set to the right. Anthony threw a very flat pass for Tukey. Tukey picked up in the tackle of Williams and Fairley. The Bears under pressure inside their own half. Hubbard. Crushers trailing by 14. Teven. Anthony did well to get that on the half volley. Then for Watson. Watson here for Solid Jenkins standing wide. Second rower. 25 metres out from the Bears line. Working the blindside play. Anthony there for Egar. The kick bounces up nicely there for Nigel Roy. Bears back in possession. And out of trouble.
Not bad thinking here. This is the stuff I was talking about in the first half, trying something different. On that occasion, though, the kick wasn't the best. And North City through Soden gets over halfway.
Nice weaving run from Mark Soden. Wilson, the tackler. Play the ball for Taylor to run on the right. Then Florimo through the tackle of Toshak. It was held up by Bickerstaff. Jason Taylor, Michael Butner. And firing the pass for Billy Moore. Ball and all effort from Dave Watson to bring him to ground. Last tackle for the Bears. A chance to go for the high ball on Hubbard. Taylor decides the grubber kick is the option. Jason Hudson from his own goal line.
Yeah, distinct lack of chases there from North Sydney. Taylor was almost on his own. Only had David Hall out wide, so a chance for the Bears goes missing. Shivkovsky, a big run. Distinct, wasn't there? No support at all out there in the chase.
Crushers back outside their 20. Bickerstaff. Scored the try after 5 minutes. Oh, Anthony with Cooper, then Tukey. Ooh. Oh, swinging arm over the top went from Trindle. It won't go unchecked from Eddie Ward. It was a slow motion swinging arm, I thought, from Steve Trindle.
Yeah, the big fella Tukey gets the bulk into it. Well, it was just a clumsy little falling over. He virtually fell over and turn it up. You're not going to penalise everyone for that. Oh, that'll do, mate.
Well, I won't even call it a swinging arm.
No, it's nothing.
On second look.
It's a nothing arm.
He's missed Mark Tukey's head. Not that that was the target anyway, but he's missed him by a foot. He's missed the Bears player who was on top of Mark Tukey. Locker, what did you make of that?
It wouldn't have knocked the maggot off a chop.
Glad I brought you in.
Or the top off a baked custard.
So the Crushers with Hudson. It still gives South Queensland a nice platform to work from here. And now Anthony, Teven. They've shuffled between dummy half and first receiver, those two. Watson. Now Solid Jenkins. Just with Watson out there, there just looks a little more urgency about their attack. Teven holding that ball up. Wilson, there are numbers here on the left as Toshak hits the line. Inside ball, Hudson couldn't handle. It was around the ankles, but the chance was definitely there for a Crushers try.
Great chance there for the Crushers. They've muffed it again. Wilson held it up, gave it just to the right time. Toshak on the outside of his man. Hudson back on the inside. The ball goes astray. Good cover there by Steve Trindle getting across.
Now Fairley pushes along for Taylor, then Billy Moore stepping inside, but Watson was able to make the tackle. But it has made a difference just having Watson on one side of the ruck and Wilson on the other. Crushers look a little more lively with the ball. Billy Moore. Geez, played well today, Billy Moore. We come to expect it, but he just appears to be in faster motion than any other forward on the park when he gets the football. Florimo sending Butner and Hall through on the chase. Hubbard is at the back. And Hubbard held up by those two players, short of the 20-metre line. Brett Dallas back out of the rooms. Now Clinton Shivkovsky. Trindle that time went a little high. Collected Shivkovsky. This is David Cooper. Running with plenty of venom. Tukey fitting on for Saunders. Just over the 40-metre line. Antonik. It is with Cooper again. Hubbard into the line. Last tackle for the Crushers. Will they try a chip over the top? Wilson is with it. No, he'll just keep threading the ball for the corner. This time, though, it's out on the full, so it will be a changeover.
Well, the chip over top might have been the go then. There was plenty of space between the North's defensive line and Matt Sears at the back.
To David Fairley. Chance to run through the centre, but Tukey had hold in the tackle. Bears trying their luck through the centre. They have had some success working close to the ruck. Not that time, though. Soden. Wilson and Antonik the tacklers. The Bears are 30 metres out from the Crushers line. David Hall is close to the action. 20 out now. Caruana providing plenty of pushes when he gets into dummy half. Taylor is with it. Then up to the line and through goes Jason Taylor. The step and the pass, and North Sydney score. It's Will Lation supporting his captain. The second try Taylor has set up today, and the lead-up work to that even better than the first.
Yeah, good stuff, Jason Taylor. Really controlling things now well for North Sydney as he goes to the line. As we freeze play there, let's have a look. They've come up out here, back on the inside. The markers have done their job, but it's a simple get through the gap job, and away he goes. Oh, brilliant stuff from myself. And Taylor offloads to Lation, and that's a good try.
Well, he stepped everyone too. You'll notice Eddie Ward, Taylor, whether he was intending to step, he had to step back off his left. Getting around Eddie Ward and Will Lation in support.
You've got a halfback in your team that can run the football like this, then you're going to create problems. You look at all the great halfbacks over the years. Barry Muir, Peter Sterling, Ricky Stewart, Greg Alexander, they all run to the line. Alan Langer. And they create doubt in the opposing team's mind.
Tukey and Cooper, the defenders at fault. Combined miss on Jason Taylor, and it was fateful. Taylor from in front, adding to his season tally. 32-12, 63 gone here at Suncorp Stadium.
Coming soon.
Welcome back. 20 points the margin. The Crushers again competitive, but today the points conceded a real problem. Fairley comes back from the kickoff. 6 out of 6 to Jason Taylor with a boot. 5 tries to the Bears. It's been a steady flow of tries since the 32nd minute. It wasn't until that point that they came up with their first 4-pointer. Moore taken ball and all by Tukey. Now, right through the centre, Trindle. Plenty of power in his work. And they're 40 metres out from the Crushers line on the last tackle. Caruana. Here it is with Taylor. It was a wide pass from dummy half. The chaser this time is Nigel Roy. Hubbard is taking his time getting across. Shivkovsky dives. He's able to get the football. It was an even money bet about 5 metres out. Roy was certainly closing in fast. And Hubbard just put the brakes on. Crushes with O'Brien. Still a personal goal for him. Having been named in that Queensland Origin squad. Retchless back for Teven. Antony with Dave Watson. Watson gets a chance to run. Back for Retchless. He puts it down. Caruana. Big chance for a turnover. Moore. Now the passing. Florimo. Taylor. Well, that's a nice tackle from Egar to shut down Icon. It appeared that they had to score there, the Bears. 15 out from the Crushers line. Nigel Roy held by Egar. And then Fairley passes to himself. 10 out from the line. Retchless able to hang on with Wilson. But the big score still beckons for North Sydney. Taylor, long pass for Florimo to throw the short ball for Moore. Held up again by Michael Egar. Antony got across in support. Now Michael Buettner. The try is still on, but the Crushers' defence hangs on. Last tackle. Benny Icon, a dummy half. Long pass. Taylor will kick for the wing of David Hall. Let's watch this one. Hall is there. Clean catch for David Hall. Well, he never left the deck, David Hall. And yet he finishes up with a football. 36-12.
No, good stuff by the Bears. They've just hit their straps again, haven't they? They had a bit of a lull early in this second half, but this is what the Bears are all about. Everyone else went up. Bar Hall, who took the scraps nicely. He's a pretty good winger, David Hall. He's been starting on the bench lately since Dallas came back, but he'd been in any other first-grade team in the Optus Cup on a regular basis.
That's just about the smallest jump you'll ever see to score a try from a bomb. But David Hall, the try scorer, plenty of reasons to smile. 6 tries now to North Sydney. 6 tries to 2. And this kick for Taylor is for 7 from 7. It's from outside the 20. He's landed 1 from the sideline earlier. It was right on half-time. Other than that, the kicks have been fairly straightforward for Jason Taylor. See this one, Taylor. This one is going to swing well across the face, so 6 from 7 it is for Jason Taylor. 13 remaining, it's 36-12 to the Bears. Well, the Crushers know this drill well today. Shivkovsky a restart. Soden for Fairley to come back. Oh, nice defence from Steele Retchless. Now Billy Moore here for Lation. Trying to step his way through, at least to the 30-metre line. Antonic was the defender. Round made here by Caruana. Another 10. Hard to find that there hasn't been a contributor for North Sydney today from 1 through to 17. The bench players have certainly played a role in this match. Caruana stumbling there for Lation. The pass on for Florimo, the customary Fenn. 30 metres out from the Crushers line on tackle 5. Now Taylor. There's the option of varying the play up. The pass dribbled out of the hands of Icon. Taylor gets another kick for David Hall to chase. Hudson has this one covered. And Hall stands his ground. In fact, he may have been called out of the play for offside. It comes back for Watson. Dave Watson giving that hamstring a real test. Able to offload in the Florimo tackle for Shivkovsky. And now Wilson through the centre. Did well to get out of their danger zone that time, South Queensland. Teven. Antony. Inside for Saunders. Then Wilson. Offloading for Teven. Retchless. Quick passes for Teven. Now solid Jinkin. Ooh, bumping run. Touch there by Buettner. 6 to go for the Crushers. Teven on halfway. Now Toshak. Away from Soden and held by Moore. 45 out now from the North Sydney line. Nathan Antony. Dashing Don Saunders. There's the short ball. It was for Prothero, who was threatening again to go through. He's been dangerous out wide today, Mark Prothero. And this is Michael Egar. They're 20 metres out from the Bears line. Clinton O'Brien. Then Antony. Quick hands for Teven. A dummy to Retchless now for Wilson. Here is Toshak. Bickerstaff had come back infield. 10 out, last tackle. Craig Wilson kicks off, straight to David Hall. And that is a real fizzer on the last.
Peter Louis, the North's coach, would be enjoying this. He's watching his team have a very strong win, but it's the defence which would be keeping him quite happy. Wilson trying everything in his book bag of tricks. But as I said, Peter Louis, he'd go away quite satisfied, I think.
Well, elaborating on that, the way the Crushers have scored their tries, one off a kick after 5 minutes. The second came from a drop ball from the kickoff. Or it was a push pass from Trindle. The Crushers came up with possession, so it hasn't actually been any line breaks that have been of any great concern for the Bears. Here's Soden for Lation to go forward, and a good run from Will Lation, rewarded with a try today coming off the bench, as was David Hall. Here's Taylor, cut out ball, nice hands from Billy Moore, doesn't find the mark though, and Egar is back with it for the Crushers. Here's Shivkovsky, takes 10 metres. Teven from dummy half, good metres for Craig Teven. Another 10, some boos from the crowd. They thought the Bears were offside. It's a healthy 10 metres. You're back about 12 on that play. Retchless, Wilson. Bickerstaff is there for the short pass. It bounces here for Florimo. So the Bears are with it. And Florimo goes across field, and all of a sudden there's a chance of an overlap. Taylor, Aiken, gets inside the Crushers' half. And Saunders hangs on the tackle. So the Bears are trying to finish off. Well, they've got time for more than just one. It was the last 8 of the first half. They came up with 3. There's 8.5 remaining in this battle. Lation, oh, flick pass. No one was expecting it. And put down by Billy Moore.
Other handling starting to fall away in the match. Lation, Billy C, where'd that come from?
North Sydney next week. Big match next Sunday against the Sydney City Roosters. That's at Bear Park. And the Crushers also head to Sydney. They'll be at Campbelltown for a clash with Western Suburbs. And Dave Watson, line side of the scrum, back for Shivkovsky. Right foot fend, he gets over halfway. Clinton Shivkovsky, has he got the pace? Sears is motoring in. Matt Sears makes the tackle on Shivkovsky.
Oh, what a player. He's having a big game today, Shivkovsky.
Saunders at dummy half.
Bin.
Well, this could be bin. Here it is, the sin bin for Matty Sears. Or is it? It's David Hall who's off to the bin.
Well, Shivkovsky, I knew he was quick, but he nearly ran away from Matt Sears. I'll take the tap.
Clinton O'Brien tries to steamroll his way forward. Crushers against a 12-man North Sydney line. Antoniuk back to the short side. Saunders, there's the pass. Toshak scores against his former club. The Crushers get their 3rd try, and it's 36-16.
Yeah, good ball from Don Saunders. Put it all down to Shivkovsky, though, the barnstorming run. Here it is now. Some ordinary North Sydney defence, just been wrapping their defence. And Matt Sears had to pull out all stops to get to Shivkovsky. You don't want to say that too quickly, that name. But here's the end of the try as it comes there. So we freeze play there. Let's have a look. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and here's the space out here. And it's a good ball from Saunders right across the face, and they go in for the try. Just not enough troops there in action. Brett Dallas actually on the sideline waiting to come on as a replacement. And nice ball from Saunders. He saw that space out there and used it well.
They score the try in the corner that David Hall was in position just a minute ago. And now in the sin bin. And maybe it's the Crushers who will finish off with a flurry of tries against the Bears, 1 man down. Nice feeling that, scoring against your former club at Toshak. Won a reserve grade grand final in his time with North Sydney.
Just watching Brett Dallas in front of you down there, Block. He seems to be holding that shoulder a bit.
Yeah, I don't think it'd be a real good idea to come back on. There's only 6 minutes left on the clock. They're winning quite comfortably, but he's keen to get back out there.
Clinton Shivkovsky from the sideline. He's had a couple of these today. Still one, I guess, is respectable. Shivkovsky, has he got the distance? He does. Clinton Shivkovsky from the touchline. And there's the pass, the money ball from Don Saunders for Toshak to score. And then this, a nice follow-up. Something to cheer about for the fans here at Suncorp.
Well, just to score 18 points against North Sydney is very, very good. Unfortunately, their defences let them down today, the Crushers. And Peter Louis now would be sending out messages, no more tries. They don't want to let any more points in.
So the Crushers from inside their own 20. Dave Watson, Retchless back to the 30-metre line. Taylor was the tackler. Teven, Antonik. Now Dave Cooper, passing for Prothero. Crushers, Teven, Saunders. Over here for Egar. Offloading for Shivkovsky. I'd like to say it, but Ben Eichen was one of the players again who missed the tackle on Clinton Shivkovsky. And Wilson now kicking. Hudson. Well, he's got a bit of a flying start here. Hudson, there's a tremendous bounce. Jason Hudson to the corner, scores. You couldn't hope for a better bounce than that one for Jason Hudson. And the Crushers get try number 4.
Well, this is good stuff. And once again, they're trying something different. Little kick over the top. Wilson the man. North's a one-man short. Their line is stretched. Not enough troops there again. Hudson on the fly. Hudson with a H goes in for the try. Great stuff by the Crushers. Where was it in the first half? We're looking for something different from them. Some good positive play. It's all coming much too late.
And Jason Hudson, he's pulled in the kick as if he's got it on a string. Once it bounces, there it goes. The bounce beats Caruana all up. A nice switch of the ball to the left arm to give the right arm fend on Matty Sears. And Hudson has his second. It was Shivkovsky. Can just about use the same mound as 60 seconds earlier. 36-22. Genius, if you've got it on pick the score, as there's the kick from Shivkovsky, unsuccessful this time. Little under 3 remaining, 36-22. We've now had, 10 tries scored. And the wingers have certainly got in for their share, a couple to Hudson, one each to Dallas and Roy, and also to David Hall, the replacement winger for the Bears.
You'd be sorry.
So let's watch if the Crushers can really take a few chances, come up with something else in the dying stages of this match. Retchless for the first tackle. Wilson for Bickerstaff. Oh, some heavy stuff late in the game. The Bears stung by conceding a couple of tries. Williams and Pomeroy went on the hunt that time. Teven, Antonik, here with Cooper. Side on in the tackle. Now Teven back with Wilson on his own 30-metre line. The overlap is on Hall's wing as Hudson back in field. Jason Hudson hurt in the tackle. He's been up with their best players today, Jason Hudson. Busy game.
Yeah, he's been quite strong. Mark Prothero made some good charges at different stages of the game. Wilson's been heavily involved in most of the good things they've done, and Steele Retchless has worked very hard as well. 20 tackles, 13 hit-ups for him.
So Wilson's okay. The Crushers out of it, ended up with a penalty. Pointed to next Friday night. St George Dragons reeling after the loss to the Roosters last night. They get back on home soil to take on Parramatta. We'll have all the action from Cogger. And right now the Crushers looking to finish this one off as Retchless held in the tackle of Denny Williams. They're 35 metres out from the line. Antonik. They're short again on this side. Wilson put down there by Bickerstaff, and I think the pass was intended for the centre Toshak. Knock on by the Crushers.
Craig Wilson's a pretty smart player. He knows they're one down. They're short on this side all the time now. North Sydney. And once again, they had an overlap. But the ball not controlled.
Nokia, man of the match to be announced shortly. The 81-10 to give away again today. Great little phone. Few contenders there from the North Sydney side. Jason Taylor's been strong again today. In fact, 5'8", Half and Lock are probably among the three leading contenders. Florimo, Taylor, Moore. The Bears are with it. The final 30 seconds. Taylor for Butner. Inside for Benny Eichen to the 40-metre line. And Caruana for Lation to get inside the Crushers' half. Back with Taylor. Countdown is on. Fairley. Fairley's got support on the inside. Ricocheted off the knees of Sears. That's the full-time siren. So the Bears come to Brisbane and walk away with 2 competition points. It will take them to 13 on the Optus Cup ladder in round 10. 36-22 the scoreline.